Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Tuesday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Hope everyone's doing well. I want to continue my great debuts, going through my alphabet. This time, the letter P through to T, choosing one debut album from each letter, which is not an easy task sometimes, but I think I've chosen 5 fantastic albums. Some of the best that I have, for sure, as far as debut albums. So before we get into it, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. I greatly appreciate it. I want to continue to put great content out there to be informative and to show you guys some great bands and artists that I have in my collection. It's because of you guys, your likes, your subscriptions, your wonderful, wonderful comments that keep me going, keep me motivated to do this kind of thing, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So right off the bat, from one of my favorite bands, completely different than anything else that they put out. This is Pink Floyd's debut, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, featuring the great Syd Barrett. Unfortunately, short-lived, which is a tragic story in its own right. But we're not here to talk about that. Even though he was fantastic and great, it just definitely messed up later on in life. So great debut album from 1967. Again, a Syd Barrett project, pretty much, mainly written by him. Of course, featuring him on lead vocals and lead guitars. He's a great guitarist, by the way, in his own right. Nick Mason on drums, Roger Waters on bass and vocals, and Richard Wright on keyboards. The classic early lineup. See Emily Play is a great track off of this one. Astronomy Domine, another great track. The heavy instrumental in Interstellar Overdrive. Lucifer Sam, almost a James Bond theme to that one, which is cool. Matilda Mother, another cool track. Flaming. You got the playful The Gnome. And then you got The Scarecrow, which almost sounds like a traditional Celtic type of track. It's got that Celtic storytelling feel to it. And then you got Bike. I love the simpleness of that song, and I love how Syd's vocals sing along to the as the music is playing in each note. Syd Barrett goes by each note as well. Hard to describe, but that's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, great debut album in Pink Floyd, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Fantastic debut under the letter P. Under Q, one of my favorites from this band, for sure. And heavy stuff. This is Queen's debut. And Queen. The rest are going to be CDs, by the way. Yeah, this is a great killer album. Hard and heavy. Sometimes almost different than a lot of their stuff that they put out. 1977 release. Keep Yourself Alive is a big single off of this one. And Liar as well, which was the B-side. Again, there's some progressive elements to this one, but mainly just straight ahead rock. Freddie wrote 5 out of the 10 tracks. Brian May wrote 4 of the other tracks, and Roger Taylor wrote Modern Times and Rock and Roll, heavy track as well. I love the opening riffs in Brian May's track, Keep Yourself Alive. Fantastic stuff. Classic Queen at its best. And then you got the slower track in Doing All Right. Freddie's vocals shine in this one. Written by Brian May. It's also Brian May playing the piano on this one as well. They can definitely rock it out, and they do in the heavy track, Great King Rat, written by Freddie. Awesome guitar solos by Brian May on this one. I love the harmonic guitar work in My Fairy King. You would think by the sound of the track it would be a light and hearty one, but it's another heavy track, a fantasy type of track, written by Freddie, and also great vocals within there by Roger Taylor. And Freddie on the piano was just fantastic. Love Liar, written by Freddie, great rockin' track as well. Brian May's The Night Comes Down. It's got references to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds in that one. Great work by Brian May. The drumming is great on this one as well. And then you got Modern Times Rock and Roll, the Roger Taylor track, sung and written by him. Heavy, heavy track. It just rocks. It really rocks. Sons and Daughters, written by Brian May. Classic harmonies in that one. Another heavy track. It's a B-side to Keep Yourself Alive. I'm sorry, I said the other one was. I thought Liar was, but it's actually Sons and Daughters. Then you have Jesus, which is a fantastic track. It's part of a story of Jesus of Nazareth. Really dramatic track. You can almost picture what's happening in here. Wonderfully sung by Freddie. And then you got The Seven Seas of Rye, written by Freddie. It's love the piano on that one. It's very short though. It's a great instrumental, but it ends off the album. But what a great debut by Queen. For the letter Q. One of my favorites by this band, and one of my favorites ever. This is Rush's debut. This is without Neil Peart. You got John Rutsey on drums, of course Alex Lifeson on guitar, and Geddy Lee on bass and vocals. Heavy, heavy stuff. Very Led Zeppelin influenced, Cream influenced tracks. Of course, Rush from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. March 1974 release on this one. Released 5 years after they formed. So it took them a while to get things going and get a great formula going. Of course, John Rutsey on drums, fantastic drummer in his own right, but short-lived. He had diabetes and he couldn't continue touring with the band. So just before their big major tour, he left, leaving the band without a drummer. So they searched and searched and searched and found this lanky, tall drummer in Neil Peart, and of course the rest is history. But in this one here, it's a straight-ahead rock album. Not much progressive rock going on, as they were later to be known. But yeah, this is a fantastic, fantastic album. You've got Finding My Way, great guitar intro in that one. Definitely Zeppelin influences in this track. Then you got The Rocker Needs Some Love. You don't hear Rush talk about love too much in their songs, but this one for sure, because again, it's just a straight ahead rock album. Cool opening track on Take a Friend. Geddy's got some swagger to his vocals here, and love the dramatic track. And here again, almost a slow bluesy track on that one. Fantastic stuff. Another heavy, What You're Doing. Eddie's got some cool echoes in his vocals. The lead work is so good by Alex. Then you got the fun rocker in the Cowbells and In the Mood. Groovin' track. Play that on classic rock a lot. Then you got the slow ballad Before and After. Starts out very pretty. You've got some cool bass runs. Just the harmonics on the guitar playing away. And then it kicks in with the after part of the song. Killer solo by Alex. Killer solo by Alex. Then it ends with the big hit, Working Man. One of the heaviest tracks off the album. The guitar work on this rivals anyone. If you don't think Alex is a good guitar player, listen to Working Man. Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze. Got the Glenn Calloway sneeze going on here. Also, watch the later lead work. The later live work by Rush when they do Working Man. And You can see how blistering fast Alex is on the guitar. Just an amazing, underrated guitarist in Alex Lifeson. But fantastic debut album in Rush. One of my favorites by them, and one of my favorite albums ever. And then you've got this fantastic debut under S in Santana, self-titled Santana. Released a couple of months after Woodstock, where they had such an iconic performance. Very Latin-driven, very just an amazing guitar work by Santana. Once Santana hits that first note, you know it's him. Very clean, very precise guitar work. Love the jam style of this one as well. Half the album is instrumentals, which is okay. It doesn't take away from the album. Lots of congos, lots of drums, lots of Latin beats to the album. Of course, and then you get that guitar work by Carlos. Great vocals by Greg Raleigh as well. A fantastic singer in his own right. Yeah, Carlos Santana plays with soul and precision and plays from the heart as well. He very true to his roots in his playing, for sure. And you've got right off the bat, let me get my notes together here. Let me get my notes together. Man, oh man, my notes are all over the friggin' place. The opening bass run and congos and the keyboards, the great instrumental in Waiting. It's a funky, funky track. Carlos echoes the keyboards with his guitar work, as his lead work. It's funky and soulful. You got the classic Evil Ways. Even though we've all heard it 1,000 times, it's still a great, great track. Shades of Time, great vocals by Greg Raleigh. Very 60s style song to it, but that doesn't, again, take away from it. Sabor, classic Latin rhythms, great instrumental. Jingo, the opening beats are fantastic. Love the drums. And then the keyboards kick in. And then it builds and builds, and then Carlos hits that notes. And it just, the only way he can play, and you know it's him right off the bat. Persuasion, fast track, rock and tune. I love that as well. Then you have Treat, slow bluesy track. The piano work is so good. And then you can hear the guitar in the background, and it builds to another great, great solo. So precise in his notes, so precise. You Just Don't Care, another heavy guitar and drums and keys combo. Got some bluesy elements to it as well. Sounds like Cream in this one as well. Greg Raleigh sounds a lot like Jack Bruce. Soul Sacrifice, another great song to finish off the album. And the drum solo in this one is so good as well. You almost get lost in the song. Fantastic, fantastic debut album by Santana for S. And then finally, you've got under T, you've got Taste. Great band formed by Rory Gallagher, the great Irish guitarist. This is a wonderful, wonderful album. Great debut album. Irish rock band formed in 1966. Again, founded by Rory Gallagher. It's got blues rock at its best. It's such a great album. You've got Rory Gallagher on guitars and vocals, Richard McCracken on bass, and John Wilson on drums. 1969 release in this one as well. And you've got Blister on the Moon, great guitar open and heavy bass, 60s hard rock sound, and Gallagher's guitar work is so good on this one. And then you got Leavin' Blues, great blues track. Love the runs in this song as well, and the slide work is so good. You can hear the pain in Rory's vocals as well on this one. Sugar Mama, rock and heavy blues track, and one of the best off the album as far as I'm concerned. He was such a great player, and again, taken too soon. Hail, great acoustic track, and I love though how his vocals match the guitar on this one. Fantastic stuff. Born on the Wrong Side of Town, great track, another great 60s rock and tune. Progressive in some parts as well. And again, he's got some Jack Bruce in his vocals also. Then you got Dual, Carriageway Pain, another 60s rock and classic. Great grit in Rory's vocals also. Then you got The Same Old Story. Love this track, and great straight ahead rock song. The lead work is fantastic. Catfish, great electric blues, 12-bar blues at his best, and blistering leads. And then the acoustic I'm Moving On, Hank Snow classic. Taste does a great version of this one. It does it right, does homage to the song, and fantastic stuff. If you don't know Taste, check these guys out. So there you go, guys. There's some great debut albums from P to T. Probably be wrapping up the series tomorrow. U through to Z or Z, depending on what country you're in. And have yourself a wonderful day. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.